What is up, everybody? Welcome to the No Name Video Game Awards Part 2. I'm Manuel, one of your hosts for tonight. The rest of the crew is here with me. I'm going to do their presentations or introductions in a couple of minutes. As you all know, we had our first awards last year and people loved it. We loved it. Everybody had a good time. So, of course, we're going to want to do it a second time. And unlike some sequels that are just cash grabs, this isn't just a cash grab. We genuinely want to get together every year and celebrate video games. And some of you might be asking yourselves, what's the point? Another award show, what's the point? And the point is that here we have the opportunity to shout out games and creators that may or may not get the same recognition elsewhere. And also, we just love video games, man, and we want to celebrate them. What other reason do we need aside from that? So sit back, relax, let us know what you think in the comments section. We're going to be reading the chat throughout. So if you're connected right now, say what's up, say hello to everybody here in the crew. We will be looking at the comments throughout the show because at the end, we're going to be doing a giveaway, and that's going to be based on the people that comment. So make sure to comment throughout, maybe better your chances of winning that giveaway. But for now, that's all later. For now, join me in welcoming the rest of the crew. All right, so first up, the lover of cats, the newlywed, the one that failed, thankfully, to bring back the bomb, hailing from the land of the Forbidden West. It's Ruby Cat. Ruby Cat, how are you doing tonight? And what are you looking forward to the most for this award show?
I think that I'm doing wonderful. I'm very excited to be here. I had so much fun with you guys last year that I'm here like I want to do this and we're going to do it even bigger and better than last year. What I'm looking forward to most is just hearing each of us our picks for like game of the year, like from a personal perspective, from like our own opinions, our own feelings about like what we like the most, because I feel like I like having human connection, right? And gaming for me is like a way towards building that human connection, so that's like my top priority there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so shout out to Jay. He's over there in the chat. All right, so next up, once known for his hot takes, still known for his hot takes, the Steam Deck owner coming from the far, far away land of wonder. Round of applause for Luis. Luis, how are you doing tonight? And also, same question to you. What are you looking forward to the most for these awards this year?
Oh man, I'm doing good. A little bit under the weather, but not enough for me to miss this. I had to be here. I'm looking forward to seeing how some games that maybe were not a part of anyone else's list are gonna be here, and we're gonna celebrate them, and we're gonna say stuff about them that you might not know, and maybe that will entice you to play them. So that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, that is something cool. I haven't really thought about because you guys know the Oscars are my thing, and when I watch the Oscars, one of the things that I look forward to is hearing about movies that I might not have watched otherwise, writing them down and watching them later. So I never really thought about that in terms of video games because we're all in the video game world. But I guess that is true. Like we might talk about certain games and might convince other people to say, you know what, I'm gonna go check that out. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Welcome to the show. All right, so last but not least. The man that really needs no introduction, once again, our fearless leader. Is he or is he not playing 2K? We'll never know. From the very, very nerdy land of Faerun, which I don't even know if I'm pronouncing right because I'm not as big a nerd as him. Welcome to the stage, Ace. Ace, how you doing, man, tonight? Are you excited? And again, what are you looking forward to the most from tonight's show?
I'm excited, man. Very, very excited to be back on the awards. Like, we get together and we were talking about it a little bit off camera. We get together basically every week, but the awards just hit different. What I'm looking forward to the most, I think there's a couple of things. First, I do want to say, never thought I'd have my own podcast, right? Never thought I'd get to do this with friends. And now we have awards and this is the second year. So that is incredible right there. I appreciate everyone that follows, but also I appreciate every single one of you guys. I love games, but I love you guys more. Other than that, what I think the one thing that I'm looking forward to the most is gotta be the trailer that we have later on, the world premiere trailer that we have later on. So stay tuned for that. But I think that's my main thing today.
Yeah, that's very exciting. So this year we're doing a few different things. I'm gonna jump on that right now. One of the things is we got a world premiere, like Ace just says, so look forward to that alongside later on in the show. The way we're doing Game of the Year this year is also a little bit different. I'll explain it as we go, but basically, you guys over there in the chat in the community, you're gonna be taking voting on what our Game of the Year for this year is, and a few other different things that we did in the category. So once we get there, we'll explain them as we go. With the introductions out of the way, though. All right, so if you're watching, I want to see the comments. I want to remember we're gonna have a giveaway at the end, and we're gonna pick from the people that are commenting in the chat. So with the introductions out of the way, let's get to our first sponsor. Just kidding, we had no sponsors because we're not making any money out of this. But of course, if you want to sponsor us, let us know. Ace, why don't you take it away with our first round of awards?
Sounds good, man. Thank you. Let's just get right into it, right? You got everything set up. We're ready to
Yep.
go. First category that we have for tonight, it's going to be the best fighting game. Our nominees for that are Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, and Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. Let us know in the chat what you guys think of that one before we go ahead and give out the winner.
By the way, it's All Stars Brawl 2, if I'm not mistaken. So I just shows that. Yeah, it is. There is already a sequel to a game. We're nominating last year's game. Just kidding. Go on. Let's see who wins this.
All right. So our winner for very first one on 2023 here is going to be Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6, applause. Everybody applause for that. Awesome.
This one, I think it had to be Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat was really good, but then I think it fell off a little bit in terms of microtransactions and stuff like that. So our preference was here, Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, and the fighting community agrees, I think. I think the fighting community agrees. J.O. in the chat doesn't agree. He chooses Mortal Kombat, but, join us next year. Be part of the podcast. Be part of the crew, and maybe you can vote as well. Not maybe, you will if you're part of the crew.
You will.
So yeah, that way your voice is heard more. All right, go on, Ace.
All righty. So next up, we have the most anticipated game. So obviously an award for an upcoming game that's not been released yet. What are we looking forward to the most? And the nominees that we have here are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Dragon's Dogma 2, Hellblade 2, and GTA 6.
I'm wondering, I know this wasn't scripted. We have a clear winner here, but I'm wondering if something would have changed if we had voted now, today, rather than before. Maybe not.
Okay, we can try that. I'll say what the winner that we had when we voted, and then we can find out if that's still our winner.
All right.
All right. So our winner for that category is going to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If you know us, I think it makes sense. However, the late entry, like Manuel says, was GTA 6.
With that new trailer,
that
I don't know, Luis. Yeah. Would that have changed your vote with seeing the trailer now?
I don't know. I saw something. I don't know if you guys saw it. I shared it to you guys. Like, I don't know if this is real. It looks really real. The supposed gameplay reveal, it's like 50 seconds long. Man, that looks wild. It looks so real. I don't know how they managed to do it.
Is that enough to change your vote, though? Is that enough to change your vote if we were to vote today?
If I saw that glimpse of gameplay with the trailer that I got, I think yeah. But awesome. Since we didn't get that, I have to be.
Yeah, we got to be clear. We voted on this before the gameplay or the trailer was revealed, so we didn't really know anything about GTA 6 until after our votes had come through. So, RubyCat, what about you? Would that have been enough to change your vote?
No, because I am heavily invested in this portion of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's like sentimental at this point. Like, I need to get that game. I need to know what happens next. So from that perspective, I will say no. Even though GTA 6 looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, for me, it probably I'm torn, right? Because I'm not incredibly excited for either one of them. But there's something about the fact that we know that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not finished yet. We still got the third one coming up. And the fact that GTA 6 is going to be, story-wise, the complete experience, that excites me a little bit more. So it might have swayed my vote a little bit, maybe. I'm not sure. How about you, Ace? You're the biggest GTA fan here.
It wouldn't have been it for me. I'm exactly in the same boat as Ruby Cat, so we might have had like a tie on that one. But
All right. So
If we,
anyway,
I'm gonna say this. If we, at least for me, if I had seen the latest trailer for Black Myth Wukong, and I knew that that was coming out in 2024, especially close to my birthday, I would add that to that list.
really
I don't know if
interesting.
if it would have been like the top dog there, maybe not, but I don't know. You and I know we've been going about this monkey game for a
Yeah,
while. We
for
thought
a long
this was
time.
just a tech demo, and it's real. It's
Apparently
almost
it's
there.
real. Apparently it's real. We're seeing a lot of gameplay. All right, so let's move on then. Go ahead, Ace, whenever you're ready.
alrighty. So next up, we have the category for best score and slash soundtrack. Nominees for that are going to be Final Fantasy 16, Alan Wake 2, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Hi-Fi Rush, and Baldur's Gate 3. Are they all in there?
A lot of great picks here. Like I played a little bit about this game recently with the demo. I told you guys. Gameplay wise, separately, the music is actually really really good. From the little bit that I was able to play, the music is. I'm surprised. I'm not. I understand why it's nominated here. Definitely, a lot of great music here.
Play back this section when I said the nomin when we were talking about the nominees, and Manuel was like, I haven't heard anything
Yeah,
about Baldur's Gate on that.
yeah. But that shows I'm able to change my mind.
All right, so our winner here is gonna be Final Fantasy 16.
Final Fantasy 16.
Well
I think,
deserved.
I think that's well deserved. I think it's on
The music was
undeadable.
great.
Shout out to Jay again in the chat. He said Alan Wake, a man of my own heart. And my heart is obviously with Alan Wake, but you know, like I want to tell this real quick. I know we said it before, but the music for Final Fantasy 16 is so good that there was a point in the game where I literally just stopped playing just to listen to the music, and I just listened to the entire track. And once the song was finished, I continued playing. I don't do that in video games, and that music, that soundtrack made me stop like that.
Final Fantasy never has like it can have a bad game but not a bad soundtrack. And before this year, it didn't even have a bad game. Period.
Yeah, and we're in the minority there anyway, so
It's also true.
yeah. All right, what else you got for us?
Okay, next up, having to do with audio as well, best audio design, and that's going to be a little bit different in terms of what it entails. But some of the same nominees here: Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Armored Core 6, Resident Evil 4 remake. Do we have all of those?
We basically have all of them.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder, yeah.
Every game that came out this year, we nominated basically. Well, I think they're all deserving in their own right. To be honest, I think they are.
I mean, we tried to like make it a list that we weren't able to really do it like that.
Yeah.
So,
like to me,
right,
like Spider-Man, for example, Spider-Man is something I think it goes underrated. The fact that they change the voices depending on what you're doing in the moment, like that has to be completely recognized. You know, Resident Evil 4 and Alan Wake 2, they both depend on the environment because they're scary games. I know none of you played Armored Core 6, but you're constantly hearing voice chatter and to balance the voice chatter with all the sound that's going on in the world, that's difficult. Mario Wonder, like they redesigned every single sound effect in the Mario game in ways that work and still fit with the Mario universe, like so on and so forth. So I really do think all of these games deserve nominations at least.
but unfortunately, only one can take it, and that's gonna be Alan Wake 2.
Yes, sir.
Also very well deserved.
Yes, sir. By the way, I started playing New Game Plus today, and I'm very excited to tell you guys about that once we get the chance to.
You were like, I can't play anything after Alan Wake, so let's just play some more Alan Wake.
Yeah. But they're doing something different with it. They changed. Apparently, they changed the ending, and the beginning is different. So I'm very curious. Very curious.
Alrighty. So Manuel has already started eating with that award right there.
Definitely, you know where my heart lies.
Alrighty. One of my personal favorite categories coming up here. Best RPG of the year.
I love Jay. You're right. Keep it up all throughout. I wanna see your comments throughout the entire show, man. Keep it up. I'm enjoying everything you're saying.
That's the facts. So best RPG, our nominees are gonna be Baldur's Gate 3, Sea of Stars, Starfield, and Octopath Traveler 2. Another great list of deserving games here.
100%. Unrelated, completely unrelated, but I wanted to mention it here. I started playing Chrono Cross about 2 days ago. Well, again, we'll talk about that, I
That's
guess,
nice.
next year, next
Oh
podcast.
my
I just
god!
wanted to
Oh
mention
my!
it.
That
You're
is
gonna
nice.
leave us with that on the Christmas on the winter break.
Yeah, we'll
I
see what
know.
happens. We'll see what happens
I'm
with that.
obsessive about that game. So, oh
Yeah, I
my
know, I
god, I
know.
need to interview you.
So you're playing the Radical Dreamers edition,
Yeah, yeah,
the
I'm
new
playing
one.
that one. I'm playing that one.
That that's cool. That's cool.
All right. So our winner for best RPG 2023 is gonna be Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, is there any competition? Was there any doubt?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
is there a more RPG game than this? Like, does that exist?
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think
They
so.
were all really good games, but it was a bad year for them to compete on this one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Oh,
All right. And then next category that we have each our favorite non 23 year that we played this year.
yeah. So why don't you explain real quick why this is one of the things that we're doing different with these award show?
Mhm.
You
Yep.
want to do it
So
or yeah, go
over the
ahead.
year, oh, yeah, I mean,
No,
either
go ahead,
or.
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Over the year, obviously, we play a lot of games, gamers that we are. Some maybe like we're doing this with the awards that we played that came out this year. Others we played that we repeat playing or we never got to play that were released on a different year than the current 2023. But they are still worth mentioning some experiences that we had. So we wanted to like I brought up the fact that this is going to be a celebration of games. We wanted to bring those other games back because we hadn't been doing the awards for very long. It's just our second year, and
Mm-hmm.
some of these need to be recognized. So
Yep. So with that being said, what's your favorite non 2023 game that you played this year?
my personal favorite game of that wasn't released this year was What Remains of Edith Finch. I'm not sure when it was that it released. It doesn't matter to me. I wish I would have played it sooner. Uh just it just hit on everything. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a very weird game, but it's a very something that will definitely get you invested in and give you a ride.
It sticks with you, right? It's just the game sticks with you
It
long
does.
after you finish it. So if you're out there in the chat, man, you're hearing about this game for the first time or not, but you haven't played it, try it out. It's only 2 hours. That's what sold Ace on playing it in the first place. The fact that it's just a 2 hour experience. It's on PS Plus right now, and it's cheap if you want to buy it anyway. So yeah, shout out to What Remains of Edith Finch. What a great experience. I know Luis, you played it for the first time this year too, and you agree. Even though
Yep.
it has his gameplay issues, obviously it's an indie game, it's an older game, but you agree that the experience is
Oh no, yeah.
hands down incredible.
It's incredible, and it sticks with you in a way that you start to value life in a way. I'm not gonna say much else because I believe that it's experience that one has to like go through without knowing anything.
Yeah.
That's the best way. And I know you guys have talked about it at length, but I've been like, I'm avoiding this. I'm not hearing anything. So it was phenomenal. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Awesome. All right, so that's the first round of awards. Let us know what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Shout out to Banana Bread. I think you agreed with the RPG one. All right, so another thing that we're doing different this year is our game of the year. Like I said at the beginning, for various reasons, we decided to leave that up to you guys. Everybody that's in the chat right now and throughout this show, you're gonna be voting on our game of the year. So make sure to stick around and listen, because when we get there, we're gonna set up a poll. You're gonna vote, and then we'll announce it. All right. So the way we're gonna be doing it is that since we ourselves, the crew, aren't gonna be picking the winner, we thought we'd celebrate each nominee by each of us making our case for why we think our game should win. So we're going to be doing that throughout the awards. So make sure, like I said, stick around, pay attention. One of us might sway you one way or the other. You never know. So with that being said, let's begin with Ruby Cat. Ruby Cat, what's your game of the year and why?
Okay. So my game of the year is Hogwarts Legacy. Um, let's start with like many of the aspects I love about this game. The first one is like the exploration aspect. Maybe many of you who have watched previous episodes know that I'm a big fan of like just exploring and getting lost in the world. And this world is surprisingly large because if you're a fan of Harry Potter, if you've read books, you've watched the movies, there's only like maybe 3 or 4 like iconic places that you get to explore and during like the movies and the reading of the books and whatnot, but the world here gets expanded even bigger, so you can simply have like the flexibility to fly. You have different methods of flying around. You have ways of like using like the food powder and like go from one chimney to the other, like kind of like yes in the movies, yes in the books. So like it uses the elements that you're familiar as a fan to just get you around, and you have many ways of getting around. So that's pretty cool. Also, I think that dueling for me was surprisingly refreshing. Like the range combat, you don't have to like aim or worry about aiming, but you do have to worry about like dodging and countering at all times. And there's a cooling aspect to like all the magic abilities that you can allocate and you can switch based on your own customization. And not only that, like the game enables you to not only do like good spells, offensive spells, but you can also you are able to learn like the bad spells. So if you want to be a gray wizard or a dark wizard or a nice guy, you can do either of the three. So the game allows for being a good guy or bad guy or whatever it is. And I think that that gives this kind of personalization because it's not only good guys, like all kinds of people exist. And that is reflected also kind of like when you talk to people, right? You have dialogue choices, and sometimes the interaction may or may not influence the outcome. But for example, if I promise to do a quest for you and I said that it will be for free, and at the end I can be like, hey, I want money for this now. Like you can play however you want it. And it just, again, it's a personal touch. I think that the most incredible portion of it is the castle itself. Like it doesn't matter if you're 10 feet away or closer, you're gonna see a lot of things coming to life. Books reorganizing themselves, like suits of armors like fighting or passing by, or ghosts just floating like telling jokes or hysterically following you. Like you have like a lot of students that are doing different things. There might have been a student that fell asleep, a student that spent all night studying, and then he wakes up and then he goes to class directly. Like there's little details here and there about the world that just it's immersive in that regard. So I think that as a Harry Potter fan, if you're a fan or if you're not a fan, it's worth exploring.
Awesome, awesome. So Hogwarts Legacy is Ruby Cat's pick for Game of the Year. You know what? Let us know, you guys that are connected right now, let us know what your Game of the Year for this year is. We want to shout them out as well. So write it in the chat, let us know. But that was Ruby Cat's Game of the Year, Hogwarts Legacy. Much love to a game that has been overlooked everywhere this year. All right, so let's move on then to the second round of awards. And for that, I'm going to hand it over to Luis.
So we have here the category for Best Indie Game. And the nominees are Hi-Fi Rush, Cocoon, Humanity, and Sea of Stars.
Another great category.
Who you think is going to be the winner here? This is a really tight one. Because we got, every one of these games did something revolutionary within its genre, right? So, are there any pickers? So the winner for Best Indie Game is Humanity.
Humanity. You know how I feel about that. I have to say something. I'm so happy that this game won and it was nominated here. I've talked to you guys a lot about this game, but I want to talk to everybody that's listening right now. It's a shame that this game has been overlooked by pretty much the entire industry. All right, I think it's one of the best, and I know all this stuff is subjective and stuff like that, but I do genuinely think this is one of the best puzzle games ever. Not just 2023. I really do think this is one of the best puzzle games ever. The types of puzzles, I've never seen this type of puzzle mechanics in any other game. But aside from that, it's a puzzle game that has heart and it has a story and a message, and that really, really impacted me in a way that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, I could go on and on and on, but I'm so happy that humanity has received this moment, at least in our award show, and happy that it won best indie game. I think it's very, very well deserving.
Yeah, I mean, I echo your words. I have yet to experience this game, but I believe that the best thing that I mean, it got me was the fact that you said, how Thomas Was Alone was a puzzle game with story. Humanity does that, and it does it in a really phenomenal manner. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, definitely. And it's on PS Plus, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's on PS Plus. Day one. That's the reason why I'm surprised that it didn't get more love. It was a day one release on PS Plus.
So yeah, go check it out. I mean, you're missing out.
Yep.
So the next category would be Best Puzzle Platformer, and this is also a tight one. We have Hi-Fi Rush, Humanity, Cocoon, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This is tough too. This is really tough.
The way I see it, to be honest, we got three really creative games, and then we got Mario, which Mario speaks for itself, right? Mario is special on his own right.
Yeah, no, definitely. So the winner for best puzzle platformer here is Humanity.
Oh, Humanity. See, I'm actually kind of I forgot that Humanity actually won puzzle platformer, which makes sense for everything that I just said. So shout out to Humanity, man. Shout out to Hi-Fi Rush and Cocoon and Mario Wonder as well. All great games in their own right.
Yeah, definitely. And if you thought that one was hard, wait till you see this one. So we have Best Action Game. And the nominees for Best Action Game are Hi-Fi Rush, FF16, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, a surprise hit, right? Lies of P, and Armored Core 6. So in the chat, are there any takers here? Any FF16 apologists, or maybe Liza P's enthusiasts? I mean, this category is really strong. I believe that I mean, Spider-Man is not here, but some people say that Spider-Man is an action game, and I do see that it's more of an action adventure. I believe that that's where most people have it, but yeah.
Some people would say that Final Fantasy 16 is an RPG, and those people would be wrong.
Will be wrong. Yeah, definitely. That's why we have I mean, FF16 here. It's good that Ace tackles on that. FF16 for the most part is an action game, a hack and slash action game. And yeah, there are RPG elements tied to it. And I believe that most of you would say, what? But
yeah, Jay's really angry that Final Fantasy is getting so many nominations. Not a lot. I don't think it has a lot more after this, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry. So who do you think?
You can get it.
And for full transparency, I know this is celebration of video games, but I just want to make it clear, like, none of us actually love that game, but it's just it warrants certain things. Like when it comes to music, when it comes to action, we have to respect, give respect where respect is due, and that game did that great. So.
Yeah, big set pieces when it comes to action.
Yeah.
So, Jay, who do you think is gonna win this one? Best action game, Hi-Fi, FF. What do you think?
We know that he's annoyed at Final Fantasy.
So he doesn't want that.
So were we?
Oops, I think I did something.
The feeling is mutual. So the winner here is Armored Core 6.
That really surprised me. I'm very, very surprised everybody voted for Armored Core 6. I thought Hi-Fi would have won that one, but yeah, I'm not gonna talk a lot about it, but awesome. It's awesome to see that game here.
It's well deserved. I mean, it's well deserved to win. I mean, here having Hi-Fi Rush there, and Liza P, I believe it goes to show that that we all agree that Armored Core 6 excels at what it does, right?
Yep. Shout
It's
out to
not only a
FromSoft.
yeah, it's not only a cool mech game, it's also a really good action game, really
Yep.
tight one.
Also continues to deliver too, because this is like, I mean,
Yep.
they got the game of the year last year. This game, not necessarily for everybody, but it's getting that recognition, and that's great to see.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
none of the games are for everybody. I don't know if you heard recently the I don't know what his name is, right? But basically the lead guy in FromSoft, he was like, he was in an interview. He said, I don't understand why our games are selling well. Like we haven't changed our style ever. We're basically just doing the same thing, not the same thing, but they have the same creative vision for each game. They haven't changed it up to make it more commercial or anything like that. But for some reason, all of a sudden, they're getting all this recognition. So that's awesome.
I mean, they're complete games, right? Full
Yeah.
package, no added bluff. So that's cool.
Yep.
So we have another tight one. Best action adventure. And the nominees for best action adventure are Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
This is really interesting. I forgot that FF16 was here.
Yeah, I did too.
But
To this very moment.
sorry, Jay.
Sorry about
But
that
I
one.
mean, so who you think is gonna win this one?
Spider-Man or Jedi, he thinks.
Spider-Man or Jedi? That's interesting. That's interesting. I believe that's something I had trouble deciding here.
Hmm.
Even though I mean I'm glad we picked this winner, but I had trouble here because
Yeah.
when it comes to action adventure, there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
Yeah.
But the best action adventure game here is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep. Shout out to Tears of the Kingdom, the game that everybody forgot about, acting like they weren't in love with it for like 2 entire weeks or more.
Yeah,
I
they thought that.
that game I felt like it was like the most TikTok game for a very long time. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it was.
creativeness of it was insane.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
The
it broke the
attention
internet.
span is crazy in gaming.
Yes, it's
Yeah, it
definitely been
lived
a
online
crazy
before.
game here. And also, full
I think
transparency, Jedi Survivor didn't quite make the cut. We have it here for respect, but it didn't quite make the cut for time enough for us to vote on it. But I played it recently, and I could say that if I were to vote today, that would be my vote for this category.
that's cool.
But awesome, Tears of the Kingdom. Shout out to Tears of the Kingdom, an incredible game that should not be forgotten or overlooked.
Definitely.
What do we
So
got?
most surprising game, and this is also a really neat category because we have here Hi-Fi Rush, Armored Core 6, Baldur's Gate 3, and Alan Wake 2. So this is interesting because we got a lot of surprises. I believe every game nominated in this category was such a big surprise. Some bigger than others and when it comes to expectancy, right? But they're very well deserved to be here. Most surprising game.
I'm
Anyone
sorry,
in the
Jay.
chat can
Apparently, I lied to you. I said it wasn't not a lot of Final Fantasy next, and it's been in the last three categories.
yeah.
I lied without trying to lie. I'm sorry about that.
That one was surprising for the whole different reason than the rest of them, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was. Definitely was. Well, so what's our winner here?
So the winner for most surprising game is Hi-Fi Rush. I believe that it came out of nowhere. It definitely blew our minds. I finished this game in two sittings, I believe.
Mhm.
I think Manuel did the same. This game starts off in a weird place because it is a tad bit handholdy at
Mhm.
first, and you fear that is gonna be the sentiment throughout. But man, does this game take off, and the new mechanics added every 2 or 3 levels add a lot to the experience. The the music, man, the music is good. Um, the visual style, this game is gorgeous. I mean, to
Mhm.
look, it's phenomenal, and it's
Yeah.
also a really neat action game.
Yep. And it's a game that nobody knew existed until the very day it was released, which is also why it's so surprising.
Yep, the shadow drop that I think this is the best shadow drop that we've ever gotten.
Hmm.
I mean, in the last 10 years, I think.
It was
So
our game of the year early, like for
Yeah.
all of us.
yeah,
Yep.
definitely, and it was there for quite some time,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, definitely shout out to that game. Best ongoing game is the next category, and here we have Cyberpunk. Nah, we're not doing that. Soon. We have
I
Fortnite.
was like, what are we doing here? What did we do here? What did I sign up for? I didn't know.
Look, we were thinking about having a best DLC category, and then we just dropped it as soon as that became an option. So we're not gonna be having that
We're
today.
not gonna do that. So no,
This is
no,
about
no.
celebrating games, but some do not deserve it. So here we are.
Yeah. Fortnite is it's a game that's nominated here. We have Final Fantasy 14, the game that is still doing really good. GTA 5, including GTA Online, and Red Dead Redemption 2 with an online component, right? Best ongoing game. And the winner here, and I think it's no surprise to say so, it's Fortnite.
Yep.
I mean, Fortnite is just something else, right?
I,
It's the true metaverse of gaming. They just added like 4 modes. They're gonna stick with those modes, and man, it goes to show that they want you to stay in that ecosystem. I mean, in that playing field just forever, right?
yeah.
If you're tired of shooting, just go and play some music. If you're tired of that, then go with the cool go karts and all that. If you want Lego, then go build some in a Minecraft manner. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would say Fortnite is the definition of ongoing games. Definitely.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yep. All right. So give me a moment to set up the next one. The next one is your non-23, right? Yep. Here we go. Go ahead. Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, Luis.
Okay, so my take for best non 2023 game is The Quarry. I wanted to play this game before. I did not get the chance to until this year. This game is phenomenal for a lot of reasons. You can play this co-op. I'm earning to play this co-op with my wife because you have the online component. You can play this with an online partner, or you can play this in a couch co-op manner. Right? You could do that, and I mean, it modifies the timing, all that. It's such a neat mechanic. It also has movie mode. This game, it's an homage to 80s slasher and horror movies. So it's cool that they added that mode. So it's just like you're watching a movie and then you're picking each other's options. And that's really cool. I have not played that mode, but it's really awesome to have that there. Doing nothing here, it's also an option, and I was skeptical at first because Until Dawn had that at some points, but in others it wasn't like that. But here, doing nothing, it's also an option, so that's really cool. So it
Awesome.
ends up being like a bigger, better version of Until Dawn. And if you love that game, it grew to be a cult classic, enough to be included in the PlayStation lineup for the PS5. You're gonna love this one. So that's why The Quarry
Yep.
is my favorite non-2023.
Awesome. Definitely looking forward to playing that eventually. I should have bought it when it came out. It was a special recently. It was like $10 or something like that. Now it jumped back to like $60. So I'll wait around, but it's definitely a special experience. So we're gonna give Ace a couple of minutes to get back because. All right, so here he is. So congratulations then to all the winners so far. Let's continue that spirit of celebration. Ace, why don't you come and tell us what your game of the year is and why you think it should win? Remember, everybody in the chat, listen up to our arguments for game of the year because you guys are going to be voting, all right? And we're running up close to the end. This isn't a long award show, so stick around, listen to what we're saying, enjoy yourself. We have a few surprises coming up. But for now, Ace, what's your game of the year and why?
All right, so my game of the year for this year is gonna be Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think it surprises anyone. You know, you often know me as the RPG guy, and this is like Manuel said. Is there any game more RPG than this one? However, that is just not just everything that this game has to offer. Manuel already touched up on the music of the game, uh, the story, the characters, everything. It looks really good too. We were having some minor issue early with some of the stuff being slow. They already taking care of that too, which is it just speaks to the care that's being put into this game. This game has been a game that's been worked on for a long time, but it shows. It's not one of these games that just comes out a complete mess. Um, it shows the care that's being put into it. I've seen dev devs commenting on other franchises, commenting on people should not expect games to come out like this. I mean that if that's not high praise right there,
Mhm.
like yeah, it's not realistic, but yet we have it right here. Like I don't want to take too much. This game is a fantastic experience. If anybody, and like I said, it's not for everybody, right? But if you can get past the way that the combat works, try to learn it. It's gonna be a game like absolutely no other.
Awesome, awesome. So that's Ace's game of the year, Baldur's Gate 3. Surprising no one, but definitely well deserved. Definitely deserving some recognition. So it's awesome to see games like this that surprised all of us come out of left field, just come out and blow our minds out like the way Baldur's Gate has done with you. So yeah, very happy for you and very happy for them. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, get ready for something special. None of us outside of Ace have seen what you're about to see now. We have our first ever world premiere. That's right. We have a game trailer that you will not see anywhere else. So Ace, why don't you tell us a little bit about this before we show it to the people?
And honestly, I don't know. I don't really even know how to speak about it. It's just something that you have to see. I think it has a little bit of everything. I think it's possible that, and I'll mention it beforehand that I told you guys, somebody might have bid up a little bit more than they could chew in terms of bringing it to you, but I can guarantee you that it is gonna be a fun time.
All right, so with that being said, everybody sit down, get ready for a world premiere.
In a world riddled by bad games and bad podcasts, only one crew has the audacity to do both. As four unlikely heroes rise from humble beginnings, get together, and become the No Name Crew. Ace, the reluctant leader that doesn't actually do any leading.
You know how hard it is to make a video game?
Luis, an absolute master of the magical school of flaming hot takes.
This will play great on my Steam Deck.
Manuel, the wise paladin haunted by visions of future games of the year.
This is definitely one of the indies of all time.
And Ruby Cat, tech queen of the Forgotten West.
This game is a bomb. I mean, the bomb. You know what? Either one works.
Learn the very loosely based in reality and incredibly over-embellished story of your favorite quartet, while you try to piece together how they came to be and, more importantly, why. You've seen them criticize your favorite games.
This game is a piece of junk.
Now it's your turn to get them back. The no-name game, First Pod Quest, coming hopefully sometime in my lifetime.
They're putting us in the box.
Is that an inside joke?
It's a trap.
What do we do?
The four walls are closing in.
What are we gonna do?
What do you think?
We're gonna break them all.
All right, so there you had it, our very first world premiere. I gotta be honest, this is something I wasn't up until about a week ago or a few days ago when you asked us, what do we think it is? That's the first time where I said, oh wait a minute, it's clearly this. What is gonna be? But I haven't seen the trailer, so yeah, I'm gonna get you guys' reactions first. I loved it. I want to say real quick that I loved it. I think that was incredible. all the inside jokes. I think you nailed us in every aspect. Yeah, and I really do hope that you have some time eventually to do something to actually fulfill that, because that'd be pretty cool to get into.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal, man. It's so cool. Yeah, I mean, the inside jokes, the way the chemistry
Let me know what's
works.
up. Well, hold on a
Yeah.
minute. What's up, Ace? Something's wrong? The stream or no? Right, continue, Luis. I'm sorry. He's not. I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah, I mean, this trailer is just an echo of what we do here, right? And it's so cool. It's really,
Yeah.
really cool.
I wonder who did the voice. I wonder who he got to do the voiceover, right? Because I'm sure that person, whoever it was, wrote the script as well, and they
Yeah,
nailed it. They nailed it. How
they
about you,
did. Yeah.
Ruby Cat? What are your thoughts on this?
Me, I was like just watching and laughing. I haven't cried because it's a miracle. I haven't cried. It's so funny. It's so funny because it's so truthful. So wow, I did not expect like the recordings to end up being this. So this is really fun. Now I feel like we're responsible for actually making a game, you know? Like we
Yeah.
need to put something out there. So
All right, so
Yeah.
we're
RPG
gonna
Maker.
we're gonna have to do something with Ace. If somebody could write to him real quick, maybe on Messenger, tell him two things. First, to check the audio on Discord again, because it always changes up suddenly. Make sure that it's on his headphones. And second, if not, just restart Discord. We'll wait around for him. He said he's gonna go get a different headset. So everybody, let's take a chance time right now. Then just let us know, how is everybody feeling? What do you guys think about this? All right, so we got here Banana Bread. That was amazing. Jay's telling us, he's giving us the claps in the chat. How are you feeling? How are you guys enjoying the awards so far? We're getting close to the end. There's only 2 more Game of the Year nominees and a couple more awards, and we're gonna be done with that. So hopefully Ace is gonna be back with us soon, because I do want him to hear my next. I'm gonna be talking about my Game of the Year next. But yeah, let us know what you think in the chat. How are you guys enjoying yourself so far? Ruby Cat, how are you feeling? How are you enjoying everything?
Oh, I'm like having a blast. Like I think this is probably my favorite time of the year, favorite like episode. Like we get to dress very pretty and we get to like do the awards, and I feel like there's a lot of interaction with like people in general in the chat. So, and it's all positive too, you know? So like the tone of it, like it's awesome. Like sometimes it's true we can get deep into the this game is not great or this experience is not great, and this is completely opposite. Let's just celebrate, rejoice, and be happy, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Is that you good? You got us? All right. So
Are you
since
able to hear me?
yep, we can hear you. We can hear you. Awesome.
We hear you.
So you're right on time then. Yeah, we were just celebrating the world premiere, man. Shout out to you for that. And it was awesome. All of us loved it and had a great time watching that. Hopefully it actually leads to something. We can actually place that at some point. That'd be awesome. All right, so we're gonna be promoting that throughout as long as we can do it. Yeah, Banana Bread says it's been great, enjoying it a lot. Awesome job. Thanks for that. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. Remember, we're gonna have a giveaway at the end. We're gonna have you guys voting on the Game of the Year, and we still got a couple more different things on the way. So stick with us. All right. So speaking of promoting, it's time for me to make my case for Game of the Year, and for that, I've actually prepared a video for you guys as well. I think you're gonna enjoy. Make sure you're paying attention because this video is gonna blow your mind. All right. After watching this video, you won't even consider any other game for Game of the Year. Audio listeners, if you got earphones on, make sure, I would suggest turn the volume down because the music starts immediately. So give you a couple of seconds to get ready for that. All right. This is my Game of the Year. All right. Everybody ready? Here we go. All right, so come on. How can you not say that's Game of the Year right there? Who else is doing what Remedy is doing right now? That's just a little taste of the weirdness that is Alan Wake 2, which is my Game of the Year nominee for this year. All right, so all jokes aside, Remedy is doing things that no one else is doing in the gaming industry right now, and Alan Wake 2 is the best example of that. They've managed to make weird, strange, and a relatively niche genre into a commercial success. They made people embrace the weird. Like they made us embrace the weird. They convinced the world that what you just saw is cool. Everybody's talking about that. What you just saw is just a clip of an entire actually game sequence in the game, which is, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's basically a musical. And Remedy has convinced the world that that stuff is cool. They made us care about a game that nobody cared about before. They made us care about a character, Alan Wake, that nobody cared about before. They've made people embrace the weird in ways that I think only the likes of Hideo Kojima have done in the past. And if the gameplay doesn't blow you away, the story, the graphics, the music, the voice acting, or literally any other aspect of it will. Alan Wake 2 is, to me, a genre-defying game that will be remembered as one of the most unique experiences of 2023. Usually these types of games are overlooked. These sorts of experiences tend to be reserved for smaller indie games that take more risks, but usually don't sell that well. And because of that, we really should be giving it its flowers now, not 10 years later looking back when it's too late. We need different. We need risks. We need to reward and celebrate devs that genuinely love making video games and that risk it all to give us something special. And Alan Wake 2 is something special. I just want to give something that came out recently. Sam Lake, which is the creator of Alan Wake, he's basically like the director of Remedy and stuff like that. They put out a clip 10 years ago when the first Alan Wake came out. He had to make a video apologizing to the fans because they couldn't get a sequel done. So he had to make a video apologizing to everyone that they couldn't do a sequel to Alan Wake because it didn't sell well and they had no money to make a sequel. They tried to shop the idea around to different studios and stuff like that, and nobody cared about it. Nobody wanted to publish that game. So that game was shelved for 10 years. And thanks to the success of Control, they were able to do it. They rose to a little bit of success, and they were able to give us the game that they've been wanting to give us for a long time. And it shows, I think, that's a Cinderella story, right? And I absolutely love that about that. So to close this up, Alan Wake 2 has some of the best voice acting in video games, some of the best graphics, facial animations, music, and sound design and storytelling. When you're talking about game of the year, this is it because it excels in every category. And above all, it's just cool, man. And video games should be cool. All right, so the next time somebody asks me where video games are now, I'm going to show them Alan Wake 2. This is what video games are. This is what video games are meant to be. And for this and other reasons that I can't go into because I'll be talking here on and on and on, I think Alan Wake 2 should be Game of the Year. All right, so what a year indeed. What a year indeed. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this game. I'm very passionate about this. All right, so we're getting close to the last award. We're going to go through one more round of awards. Luis is going to give his Game of the Year nominee and then a special video to try to give everybody some time to vote for the Game of the Year before ending with the final awards and giveaways. But before that, like I asked earlier, how's everybody feeling? You enjoyed the show so far? I asked Ruby Cat earlier. How about you, Luis? How you feeling? How you enjoying yourself tonight?
Man, I am really having a blast. I think that, everything about this night is perfect. That you have a lot of expectations going forward. Everything has been through the roof. Like this night has been, we have a lot going on still, but if it stopped here, let's say that the lights go out here, it's perfect just to this point. So that's my feeling right now.
I agree, man. I agree. So, Ruby Cat, why don't you take us away with, or take it away with the next round of awards?
All right. So, are we ready for what's next? I am. Okay. So, let's begin. Best Cast Performance category. And the nominees are Yuri Lomtov, Ben
Do your best
Starr.
job pronouncing. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I know! It's terrible. The whole cast of Baldul Catering. You made me laugh.
We had it like the whole cast of all of those games. I think we didn't change it on her thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much have the whole cast of Alan Wake 2 as well. So we have several nominees and they're all great. So the winner is no winner. We saw the winners. They're all awesome. They're great. They all win.
Yeah, so shout out to them. This is one of those categories we just wanted to celebrate everybody that's involved. I think all these people, all these games, all these casts did incredible jobs, and it didn't feel right to pick one of them amongst all of them. I think they all did great, so we're just celebrating all of the incredible voice acting that came out in all of these games.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true. That's true. I like this take. Again, positivity. All right. So for our next one is Best Art Direction. So for Best Art Direction, we have I Am Sorry, Final Fantasy 16 for those of us in the crowd. Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Cocoon, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. These are all great games. Pretty difficult category to choose one, but
And a
there only
variety
can
of
be
games
one
as
winner.
well. A variety of games. We
Yeah.
got horror, we got AAA, we got indies, we got, again, Mario. You got
That's
a little
very
bit of
good to
everything.
see a variety. Yes, you have a really good point, Manuel.
Yeah.
But there can only be one winner, so anybody take a guess? Oh, I think somebody took a guess. Let's see. Winner is Alan Wake 2. Woohoo.
Yep.
My
And
name.
art direction. Yeah, I put down the game like I told you guys, New Game Plus, and I'm able to appreciate everything more now because I already played the game. And art direction, like colors and lighting and stuff like that, so incredible, so incredible. But seriously, in all honesty, any one of these games could have won, and I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Except for maybe Final Fantasy 16, I would have been angry at that one over Alan Wake, but everything else, I think, deservedly so.
Well, I like that our audience loved our winner, so that's pretty good. So let's move forward to our next category, which is best narrative. So the nominees for best narrative are Hogwarts Legacy, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Humanity, and Armored Core 6.
Cool.
Again, a puzzle game, usually not going to be considered for best narrative. An action game like Armored Core 6, usually not going to be considered for best narrative. So that
game period.
yeah, so that to me that says, that says a lot about, I don't know, video games in 2023, man. Just
Definitely.
surprising.
Yeah. Yeah. And it says about, I mean, it says a lot about us too,
Mhm.
because we appreciate the narrative within these beautiful, well-crafted games. So yeah.
It says a lot about how much we spend in games too, because at least one of us has played most of the games that we. There's no game that
Yeah.
that is here that being featured that at least one of us hasn't played.
Yeah.
True. True.
Humanity
Got
is
one of our
quote unquote
fans.
free though, so you can play that. Oh, we got two
might
Hogwarts
try
right
it, I
there,
might try it.
100%.
Hogwarts.
Oh, we got
Interesting.
some. I'm so happy I'm not the only one who thinks
So
so.
happy that Luis is not the only hot takes tonight.
Yep.
But, like usual. Oh my god, you guys are making me laugh so much. But there can only be one winner, and surprise, 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 the winner is Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, this is out of all of the awards that this might have won. This is one that makes me the most happy because I think that's what they did the best. The way they told the story in this way. I can't wait for you, Ruby Cat, to. Oh, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but if you manage to finish Alan Wake, and if you're interested in Control, I can't wait for you to see what Alan Wake 2 is, just to see how you experience it. That story.
Unfortunately, this
Yeah.
is the one award that made me the most unhappy.
Really? Yeah.
I can
No,
get it. Like it's hard, I think it's more about the personal taste on this one. I don't know that there's like a right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all here for a reason. They deserve it.
Yeah,
definitely,
I agree.
definitely.
I agree. I agree.
Well, we have another category, which is the best game direction. So our nominees are Wonder, Alan Wake 2, the Spider-Man 2, Hogwarts Legacy, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and Armor Core 6.
We have a riot going on in the chat. People are not happy that Hogwarts didn't win there.
There's a lot of us that are not happy that Hogwarts wasn't even mentioned, you know?
I mean, it just got
in other
nominated. How many more nominations does it? Oh, okay. I understand. I'm saying.
In ours, so
You're right. You're right about
We're
that.
righting the wrongs of elsewhere.
True.
yeah.
Definitely.
Justice. Well, I will tell you that for best game direction, our winner is. Can you guys guess which one's our winner? Alan Wake 2! Surprise,
Oh my God.
surprise!
Yeah, even I'm surprised that this game has won as much as it's won in our awards. Definitely, I'm very surprised, but I'll take it. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Very happy.
Why is Rubycat always the underdog with the games? It was for Forbidden West before, now this one.
That's true. That's true. Come on, you
I
gotta.
am the underdog. I happily accept that.
Yeah, but she's not wrong
Yeah,
either.
actually-
Because Forbidden West, very underrated, and I'm sure Hogwarts as well. All right, so shout out to Alan Wake too, man. Sam Lake. Sam Lake is a
Yeah.
character. If you guys didn't know, like he's the face of what's this game called? I forget. Max Payne. He's the face of Max Payne, right? And he's this total character. Like whenever he gets on camera and stuff like that, like you just fall in love with him, and you can feel his style in the game as well. That's awesome.
We managed to appease the chat as well a little bit at least.
Yeah. Not everything is bad.
And we have one more category, which is Developer of the Year. So the nominees are Larian, Remedy, Nintendo, From Software, Enhanced Games.
And just in case, because I know devs and stuff like that, people aren't really, not everybody knows about who creates what. So just so you guys know, Larian, Baldur's Gate 3, Remedy,
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2, Nintendo's Nintendo, FromSoft is FromSoft, and Enhance is Humanity. So just so everybody knows what they did this year, I think all of them had great years. Nintendo's gonna be the most underrated studio this year because nobody expected them to put out so many great games this year, and I think they've been overlooked
they
because
did.
of that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Ooh, so we got one pick in the chat. We have Remedy.
Say it louder, Jay. Say it louder for these people to hear you. Write it louder.
For these people to hear you.
Some
Well,
people are saying that this year was the best year for Nintendo when it comes to offerings. And just top of my mind, I believe they put out the Prime Remaster remake,
Hmm.
Pikmin 4, Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Fire Emblem Engage, and they also put out Advance Wars 1 and 2 Bootcamp. So
Yeah.
five phenomenal games just there.
Yep. Definitely.
Two of them well deserved of being in the Game of the Year category. So yeah, shout out to Nintendo.
Too late to
Definitely.
make the case for this award.
Next year we'll have those conversations. Next year.
next year. I love it. Well, unfortunately, while they're all great studios or developers, we can only pick one. And our winner is Larian.
Larian. Shout out to Larian.
Ace must be happy.
I'm always not happy.
I can say I get it. I really think it's wrong. I honestly do think it's wrong. But we had that conversation privately, so we're just celebrating it right here.
Alan Wake has like a bunch of awards, man. It was like, but they didn't win that one.
Because that's not an Alan Wake award though. That's a developer award. It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, shout out to
It's
Larian
interesting.
Studios.
I gotta say it's interesting, like our winners versus like the winners at the Game Awards, the other Game Awards, because it seems there was a tendency for Baldur's Gate 3 to kind of like win the awards, and it seems like in our own we have Alan Wake 2 leading.
Yeah.
So
True.
Yep.
True.
But those were definitely the
Interesting
two
to see.
games that have dominated the conversation in every aspect, in every award. Those are the two games that have been
Yeah.
going head to head, which is crazy because we got Tears of the Kingdom this year. Like, how big could you get? How much bigger can you get from Tears of the Kingdom? And yet everybody is just talking about Baldur's Gate
Remember
and
when we were talking about it was Tears to Lose, and then this
Yeah.
all came through. Like all these
It
games
was.
keep popping.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so you got something else for us, Ruby Cat, before we move on?
That's
Ish.
correct.
Yep. Whenever you're ready.
Banana bread backs me up here with Larian.
So, all right, my favorite non-2023 game. So, for this one, I actually picked Life is Strange, the original Life is Strange. The first time I played this game might have been maybe a couple of years after it was actually released. And I fell in love with the storyline. It was captivating from like the moment it started. The mechanics to me were fascinating, like being able to have different conversations, turn back time, fast forward, do all these like uh having this ability and just like learning from everybody around me and being able to either make a positive or negative impact in like these characters' lives, right? This time around, I played it in 2023, and I made sure that I will pick the opposite choices on my first playthrough because I wanted to see like another side of the game essentially. And it felt like playing from the start, like a brand new game to me. Like not only playing it between years, like further from each other, but also making the opposite choices made the experience very refreshing, very new, very exciting. And while I knew things about the plot and like how things turn out, because I did play the this is the second time I'm playing it, like it made me pay more attention and kind of like understand like all the little details that were placed that perhaps I missed on my first playthrough. And I think this is one of those games that maybe in the future might become like a classic to play, like a for years to come. So I absolutely love it.
Awesome. So that's Ruby Cat's favorite non-2023 game. As you were talking, I realized that I didn't put mine here anywhere. So I'm just gonna mention it real quick. My favorite non-2023 game is Red Dead Redemption 2. I did the platinum this year after so long, and we've talked about it so much on the podcast. I'm not gonna talk about it again here, right? One of the greatest games of all time, and that was one of my favorite experiences this year. So yeah, shout out to that as well. All right, so we're close. We're getting close to the end. All right, so don't be impatient. Don't leave now because we're getting close to the giveaway into the final vote. So the time has come for one more special presentation. Last year, we announced the official No Name Orchestra, but we were informed last minute that they couldn't make it, so we had to be happy with Fluke Guy from TGA. But this year's different. We're not just rehashing the same jokes we made last year, like some cash grabbing sequel. We really have the No Name Orchestra. So get ready. What's that? What? They couldn't make it again? But I just got done telling everybody that I'm not going to be doing the same joke as... All right. Well, change of plans once again. Ignore everything I just said and just enjoy this short video with no sound of Fluke Guy. That's Fluke Guy for everybody. All right, so let's wait till everybody to catch up on the stream. That's Fluke Guy for you right there. Like, tell me, this guy is awesome though. Like, all jokes aside. You guys manage to catch him? Like, that guy is playing this instrument that I've never seen before. That type of flute. That thing is huge. And this man, and he's dancing while he's doing it. And he changed instrument in every single song. And he's really enjoying himself. Like, I wish more people were like him.
You know how hard it is to play a normal flute? I cannot understand how he's just blowing air into that thing.
And he just picked it up and started playing it. Like, it's crazy.
This man gave them the definition of if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. He's a legend. So shout out to Fluke Guy. That's awesome. All right. So before we move on to the final awards, I want to remind everyone, if you like this type of content and you want to see more, follow, subscribe, and try to hang out with us almost every Tuesday night, pretty much, for our podcast. Try to be with us. We love to have more of community engagement, support creators, man, because this is not easy. This is not easy. We love it. It's fun, but it's not easy to do, and we can't do it without you guys and your support. So yeah, join us. Remember, we're here almost every Tuesday night. We're gonna be taking the rest of the year off, but next year we're gonna come back stronger than ever with a great. We already have the first podcast in mind, so it's gonna be a good one. And yeah, follow, subscribe, all that stuff, and comment. All right, with that, we have one more Game of the Year nominee for your consideration. Don't forget, you guys in the chat are going to be voting for Game of the Year. So, Luis, what's your Game of the Year and why?
Okay, so forget about every other thing that the No Name crew has said before. This is the true Game of the Year game, right? And this is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Okay. First of all, this game took me by surprise. And why is that? Because I played the entirety of Breath of the Wild before playing Tears for the fourth time. I finished Breath of the Wild 4 times. And I thought at that time, and I shared with the guys privately, that I thought that I was doing myself a disservice, right? By playing Breath of the Wild beforehand. Setting my expectations too high, thinking that this would end up being somewhere of a middle ground between expansion and DLC. And man, was I surprised. This is a really ambitious game. Possibly the biggest sequel Nintendo has ever put out. And I know this is saying something quite controversial. I'm known for my hot takes, so I'll take that. But man, this is something out of this world. The scope here, it's something truly magical. It's a complete game. This is not a cash grab. This is not a Breath of the Wild DLC. This is not an expansion pack. This is quote unquote a unique take on the Legend of Zelda. It has a really coherent story throughout. This game has the most special homage in video game form to date to Hayao Miyazaki. He put out his last movie recently. If you finish out this game, you'll remember those words. This is the most special homage to Hayao Miyazaki. That's all I can say without spoiling anything. Mano knows. The story is better than Breath of the Wild, and I know that most people were saying that Breath of the Wild has more of a environment storytelling. There's a lot of that here too, but there's a lot of linear storytelling. Like the third chapter of this game, which I believe is the strongest one, closes out this experience in a beautiful manner. This game, I believe, will shape the future of open world games just as the same way that Breath of the Wild did. I know people have come to forget about it because it came out really, really early in the year. But man, different mediums have stated, and especially developers, that Tears of the Kingdom made them look bad. That games like this are way too big, way too ambitious for them to even believe how they were made. So this is not a good experience. It's a great experience, and you're missing out if you haven't played this game. Also, shout out for Nintendo for making this game run great on a 6-year-old platform. That's saying something. So that's why Tears of the Kingdom, it's my game of the year. Game.
All right,
I
so
played
awesome.
this on the OLED. I bought a game guide for it, and I bought this expensive pen because Koroks, man. Koroks.
All right, so awesome. Shout out to Tears of the Kingdom. Thanks, Luis, for that, for letting us know how much you love it and why you love it and all that stuff. So we are going to be doing the vote now. We aren't able, sadly, to put the poll up in the chat itself for technical reasons. So what we're going to do is, you're in the chat, you're listening. Just write down out of the 4 nominees what you think is going to be Game of the Year. Luis, Ruby Cat, and I, let's not look in the chat for the next minute or so. So let Ace do the looking and the counting. So just write in the chat. Remember, the 4 nominees are Hogwarts Legacy, Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, and Tears of the Kingdom. Those are the 4 nominees for Game of the Year. Just put it in the chat. Ace is going to be looking. I'm not going to be looking. And he'll let us know. Well, he'll give it to Ruby Cat. Ruby Cat will let us know who won Game of the Year. So yeah, overall, great year for gaming. All 4 games deserving in different ways, and it just feels good to have so much fun playing these games, right? So I think at the end of the day, all of us are winners because of that, because we're having a lot of fun playing all these great games. All of them deserve flowers, which is why we decided to do it this way this year. So yeah, whoever wins, we've all won, like I said, because of how much fun we've had throughout the entire year. While you're voting, I think this is a good time as any for the giveaway. I don't know if you're able to do that, Ace, as well. What do you think? To give people the time to write it, so you can do the giveaway whenever you're ready. You're on mute, by the way, just in case.
My bad. There we go. Yeah, I think it's a good time to do that while we wait some of the voting here.
Even
go
just real quick, just in case. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if you're watching or listening, you're like a lurker. You don't really engage. This is the moment to engage. Just let us know what your game of the year is, and then you can go back to lurking and have fun. All right. So yeah, go ahead with the giveaway.
All right, so I'm just inputting it here out of all the comments that we've had or the people that have commented, and see who wins it there.
Yep. So it's a random giveaway. We're just choosing from out of the people that comments, and we're putting it on the machine, and
The wheel.
it's gonna tell us who the winner for this year's game giveaway is.
Yeah, Fluke guy is gonna pick it. Yeah.
I wish we could get Flu Guy here. I would like to have Flu Guy here and talk to him. To be honest, I want to know where he came from, who he is, and why he picked the flute. I want to know why he picked the flute out of all the instruments in the world. That'd be awesome. He'd seem like a cool guy to talk to for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling the wheel here.
All right, so rolling the wheel. Who's gonna be the winner for this year's giveaway? Make sure once he announces to put the clap emojis in the chat. Congratulate the winner.
All right, so we got a winner, and our winner for tonight's giveaway is gonna be Banana Bread.
Banana Bread. All right, congratulations, Banana Bread. You are this year's great winner for the giveaway. What are they getting, if you can say?
They're gonna be getting a gift card for their shoes, for whatever either console or PC they're choosing.
All right, so you're gonna get a gift card for whatever console or PC that you choose. So make sure Ace is gonna get in contact with you, and you guys can get that. So once again, congratulations to Banana Bread for this year's 2023 Game Awards giveaway. All right, do you have the Game of the Year winner ready?
Looks like it, yeah.
All right, seems like it. So send it over to RubyCat, and RubyCat, you let me know when you're ready to make the announcement. We have a winner. The poll is up. The votes are counted and recounted. There are no fraud elections here. This is all the real deal.
All transparency, right? there.
Full transparency. We don't need to go.
Reaction is
my
priceless.
God.
Your reaction is priceless.
My God.
We don't need to go to the whatever they're called, the commission or whatever, to investigate us.
Okay, I am ready.
All right, so
am
let me
ready.
take this out. Game of the Year goes to, go ahead, whenever you're ready.
So finally, the underdogs win, and the winner is Howard's Legacy. What?
Oh my god.
Hogwarts Legacy is 2023's Game of the Year. Wow. Surprising everyone. Round of applause for Hogwarts Legacy. That is awesome. You see, RubyCat, you put it out into the world gives it back to you. So how you feeling about this? How you feeling about this, RubyCat?
Oh,
And Luis
man.
as well. I know that you loved it too.
I want to
Yeah.
cry. It's like finally, like something beautiful and amazing gets recognized. I mean, all the games are amazing, but I know
course.
that some of them are less famous or they're dependent on taste.
Mhm.
So I'm just happy because you have to see it from this perspective. Like Harry Potter, yes, it has a very specific fandom, but of all the Harry Potter games that are out there, this is like a gazillion times better than anything that's been put out there. The closest thing to like the actual genuine Hogwarts experience. So I think that it's worth playing.
That's awesome. And and definitely, like, to be honest, what we're doing this year, celebrating video games, giving shout outs to games that might not get shouted out elsewhere. I think Hogwarts Legacy is deserving of that, right? It literally represents what we're trying to do with these awards this year. So I'm happy. I'm happy that Hogwarts won this year's No Name Crew Video Game Awards. Definitely. I'm very happy for that. All right.
I've said it to you guys before in our private conversations, and I believe I said it here on the chat today as well. Um, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I believe that the castle itself, the fort of Hogwarts, it's possibly the best building in video games history to date. Um, I know that NPCs are maybe not as polished as PS5 graphics. I mean, but the way that that castle works, like the gimmicks, how everything is so well intertwined. Like Rurika mentioned, the traveling from point A to point B to point C, the way that the castle reacts to you. There's something new happening in each turn. The music changes, there are ghosts around, NPCs react to you doing stuff. It feels very much like Hogwarts is alive, and I dare you to think about a building that's so well designed in any video game, because I'm not talking about the open world of it. You know, we can go and argue about that, but the building itself, it's something that's well worth checking out. So yeah, I'm
All
really
right.
happy that it won.
So Hogwarts Legacy once again is our game of the year for 2023 for these No Name Video Game Awards. Congratulations and thanks to everyone for voting. This is just about the end of the show, but we can't end it without one more special award. With that, I'll hand it over to you, Ace. What do you got for us?
All right. So as you guys know, we did this last year too. But here's the thing about this, and like Manuel mentioned, this is a passion project of ours, but it's not something that we'd be able to do without you guys' continued support. So we, take to try to recognize some of our supporters here and there. And this year we have once more an award for our biggest supporter of the year. And this one is difficult because like it's like I say, sometimes like when we got that video for our anniversary, you guys don't necessarily see them. They're not always in the chat, but they're always there. But I think we can all agree someone we do see basically every single time, very deserving of this award here. And this is our first two-time winner. It's gonna be Spontaneous J, Holo J, as he is known in Twitter and the NBA 2K circles. He is gonna be our supporter of the year.
All right, so shout out to Spontaneous J, for all of the support throughout the year, like Ace has said. But shout out to all of you guys. It's difficult for us to choose one supporter. We choose this person obviously because of the continued support in and off the chat and stuff like that. But I want to give a special shout out to Josue. Josue is also always there whenever he can. He started off as an enemy of mine, and I'm not gonna say it, but recently you've been more on my side than before. We form more respect, so like it or not, we're more alike than what you think. So yeah, shout out to everybody, and also Banana Bread. Whenever we have something special, you're always on as well. So yeah, shout out to all of the supporters, but especially Spontaneous J.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. That's gonna do it. I don't know. I'm gonna give you guys one last chance, one final words, and then we're gonna close it off for the night. So we're gonna start off with you, Luis, then Ruby Cat, then Ace, and say our goodbyes. One final word for everybody.
This night was phenomenal. It was perfect from start to finish. I'm really happy with all the winners. I believe we did justice to our statement of celebrating games, and that's something that was quite hard, especially when we experienced so many great games this year. But we set out to do something really special, something no other outlet has been doing, and we nailed it. So I'm really happy with how this night turned out.
Awesome. Ruby Cat, how about you?
Oh, I'm like super happy. Never in a million years I would have thought that Hogwarts Legacy was gonna be the winner, even though I wanted it to be. I just didn't think it was possible. So I'm leaving with that like big win in my head. But also I'm like super grateful for having this experience, for like seeing the interactions on chat, for learning from each one of you, like what's your game of the year, and kind of like it shows like how different our personalities are, but at the same time, it shows that even despite our differences, this is like the one common thing that brings us together, like celebrating games, like playing good games and doing all of this. So this was really beautiful night to me. Like I'll always gonna remember this, and I'm gonna be as excited or even more excited for next year.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks, Banana Bread, for that. We're gonna try to do our best next year as well, so make sure to stick around. And we're gonna close it off with you, Ace. Let us know what final thoughts.
It's crazy. First of all, it's crazy because you mentioned that we're gonna try to do our best. We're already plotting for earlier today. We're already plotting for next year. But man, super honored to be here with you guys doing this again. Very excited. Like I mentioned earlier, love video games, but I love you guys more. Like this is super just a great thing for me. Like, I don't know if you guys remember last year, when we were around the awards time, I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to the awards. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, if we're gonna come back after the awards are done. And here we are, man, another year, stronger, better. Thank you guys for sticking with me through all of this, and everybody that supported us as well. It's great to see. It keeps me going. So I appreciate every single one of you. I'm gonna have to rewatch because I missed the whole, because of course not everything could go perfectly fine, and I'm literally missed like all the reactions of the thing that I I worked so hard for. So I'm gonna have to go and rewatch that. But I just had a great time with you guys as always. Another great year, and looking forward to bigger and better things.
Yep. So once again, thanks Josue for those words, and that's gonna do it. The No Name Video Game Awards for 2023 have come to an end. Thanks everybody for watching, for commenting, for being a part of all this. Thanks to everybody on the crew. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Until next year, good night.